Okay, we have a Guild Starfire 1, and I think someone bought it and returned it really quickly, or it could have been a demo, although it doesn't have dings in it, so it probably wasn't a demo. But I bought it from a shop that is a Guild dealer, and it's exactly like they advertised it. It's really a nice shape. I have noticed that the frets, they could have spent another 5-10 minutes making the frets smooth. When you bend, it feels a little rough. So I'm going to dress the frets, and most of the time I do that anyway, and polish them. So I'm gonna do that. I'll put some new strings on it. I'll set the intonation, and it already is a really good playing guitar. It'll need the nut cut a little bit. I might leave it a little high to play slide. I'm not sure, but I'm going to give it a complete setup. So here we go. I believe these are the original strings to this guitar. I looked for some fret wear and I didn't really see any. And when I see that much wrapped around the post, usually that's an indication of the original strings. So the real main thing with this guitar, that the one issue that it has, is the frets. They were dressed, but whatever they dressed them with, there's a lot of scratches, and you really feel them when you're bending strings. You can feel all these little grooves. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all that. I'm going to dress and polish the frets like I think they should be. You can see all these scratch marks. There's a lot of them in there. And it's like the only real issue with this guitar is the frets weren't really, they didn't finish dressing them properly and polishing them. I know it's a $550 guitar, but you know what? When I'm done, it's gonna play like $1,000,000. Bada bing, bada bang. So I got the neck straight, and so basically what I'm gonna do is go over every fret, and I'm gonna look for frets that are too tall. That one's rocking a little bit. I think there was one I already saw down here. I can show you. Where is it? That one's rocking a little bit. There was one that... There, see that? It's not supposed to be doing that. And it doesn't there. But it does there. So I'll mark it in the areas where it's actually too high. And that's going to take some time. I'm going to go over the whole neck like that. And you'll see I'll put marker marks right next to the fret where it's too high. Because it may be high here, but not there. So I don't want to take anything off here. I want them to all be level. And then when they're pretty close to being level, I will redress them all, and hopefully some of these gouges, scratches will come out. Because that's the only problem with this guitar. And there's a lot of meat here. We got 052 tall frets, so they're tall frets. So this is going to be, it should turn out really good because it already played good. The action was already low. It just felt kind of gnarly when you move the strings at all. So this should come out really good, but still I'm going to really look for any obnoxiously tall frets. So here we go! So here are the high frets. And I'm going to eliminate all of this. I'll eliminate all of that, and then I will give them a dressing all together. And I just got to get rid of all that. Scratch marks, they just scratched it up so much. I don't know. They're in a hurry at the factory, and this is what you get because they're in a hurry. Even a guitar like this that costs $550, it could be so awesome if they just took a little more time. Look how scratched this fret is. So I'm going to knock all this down. Here we go. Okay, I got the camera up close, and I'm going to just show you what I'm doing here. Okay, I've already done these two, so we're gonna do this one right here. It's rocking a little bit. So I'm just gonna take this sandpaper, I'm using 400. Just going a little bit at a time. And just a little bit still. It's not a lot. We're not taking off a lot. Rocking a little bit. Not so much there. Nothing. Hear that? And then it kind of goes away. It's mostly right there. Okay. This is not rocket science. It's guitar science. Great Scott! Okay, well, don't go too much at once and just keep testing it. It's not rocking. See, now that one's done. So what I do is, I'll just mark this one's done. And that's what I'm doing. It doesn't take that long and it's so worth it. All right, they're all done. Now I'm just gonna dress these like I normally do and try to get all these scratches out. That's what we're going for. So here we go. Okay, so I've got my radius. I'm gonna use this radius block. I think this neck is a 12.5 and this is a 12, but I don't think it's gonna matter too much. I'll probably put a couple of sheets of underneath it. And I'm just gonna try to get rid of all these scratches. That's all I wanna do because it played really well, but it'll play better because all the speed bumps are gone, you know. So that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna use 400. I might just work it a little bit longer. I don't wanna do anything. I wanna try to get rid of any scratch marks. So I don't wanna introduce 220 to it. So I think I'm gonna go with the 400. So here we go. It's hard to do this with one hand. So I'm just gonna go over it all. I'm gonna do here more, like I said. And I'll start with the 400 and then I'm gonna roll the edges. And this thing should play like butter. You hear me? Butter. All right, so I got it all done with the 400. Now I'm going to, with this piece of 400, I'm just gonna hit the edges, right? So instead of using a crowning file, I just round over the edges. It does the same thing. I just count how many times I do it on the edge. So I'm going to go over that, and then I'm going to mix and repeat. I'll do 6, 8, 1,000. You know how I do. I go way up there to sometimes 2,000. Then I'll polish them. And this thing should play like a dream. So anyway, that's where we're at. Up to 800. Trying to get the edge and get the top too a little bit. When you get into these finer sandpapers like 800, you notice I'm not using the radius block. I'm just going over the sides. And then I'll go over the top, because it's more polishing than really cutting. You know, you don't want to do this with like 220 or something. But when you get up around 800, basically what this whole point was to get rid of the scratch marks on these frets and to take away the high frets. That's all that I'm trying to accomplish. It played good, it just felt horrible because of the scratches. So, yeah, once you get up to these kind of grades, you can just do it by hand. It looks a lot better already. I don't see all those gouges it had. Okay, we've gone to 800, but I realize I forgot something very important. I need some coffee. Now we can continue. 1,000. Here we go. Woo! Just did 1,000, so hey, 15 sounds great. All right, they're done up to 2,500, and most people would have never done that. But me, I'm not most people, and I'm going to polish them too. I'm going to polish them so they're even better than what we see here. That little bit of extra time is what makes it so nice. All right, today I'm going to use mag and aluminum polish with the Dremel. That's what we're going to do. Here we go. I'm going for a pass along the top, a couple of passes along the top, and a pass, at least one on each edge. And if you have a maple fretboard, be careful, because if you make too much heat on the masking tape, you could damage the finish. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna wipe it off. Don't take off the masking tape and then try to wipe it off, because any of this residue, I don't know if you can see that, it'll get on your fretboard. You don't want that. So you just kind of want to get right near the fret. Oh, look at that thing. Look at that fret. Wow. All right, I'm gonna keep going. All right, let's pull this tape off. It's like unwrapping a nice present. Gotta do it all in one piece. That's why I got this piece of tape here. Gotta take your time. Oh yeah. Much better. All right. All right, we'll do our lemon treatment like we do, without touching the frets. Okay, we're gonna let this stuff soak in, and I might do a little, there's a little light scratch here. It's something rubbed against it, so I might just put some buffing compound on that. You can see the spot right here, just a little scuff. So I might just go over the whole top real quick. I use this here, Meguiar's Clear Coat Safe Rubbing Compound, because it removes oxidation, scratches, stains. It revives a dull and neglected finish. Okay, I might have to hit that a little bit. It's hard to see in this light right there. I might have to hit that a little bit more. And then I noticed this. Where is it? What's this? That's pretty weird. I might need to look over this. I've gone over the whole top, but I didn't really notice anything, especially that weird, whatever that is. That's like a finish flaw. This mark here. I'll try to work that a bit. Chicken all over. Okay, trying to get that off. And this spot here. And there's one right there too. Bit of a spot. This is kind of overkill. But it's what I like to do. I enjoy working on guitars. Okay, I tamed down those scratches a little bit. A little weird thing, you can still see that a little bit, but it's hard to see now. So, still waiting for the lemon oil to dry. I put quite a liberal dosing on there. Okay, now I'm going to put my Simply C car wax. I'm going to put it on the top. It's polyurethane and wax will be wonderful on it. Okay, so I've been working on the Guild for a couple of hours at least. I got the coat of wax on the top now. And I'll probably wipe that off. I might wait till tomorrow to finish this. I'm getting kind of tired. This stuff is still soaking in, so I might just leave it till tomorrow. As much as I want to play it, I can wait. I can wait one night. I can probably find something else to play, you know, while I'm waiting for this. Anyway, this is going to be wonderful with these great smooth frets. It already played good. I'm really looking forward to playing this guitar. There she is with the coat of wax on it. Looks pretty nice. Okay, I'm back and we're gonna finish off this Starfire one. I still have to cut the nut out. And check this tie out. How about that? My daughter got me that. Isn't that cool? We're going to start working on this nut. I don't have any dedicated nut files. I never have. I've got a couple that I use, like this guy here. But I mostly use sandpaper. I take a piece of sandpaper and I bend it so it's like it's like round. And because I just don't want to put points underneath these things. You want them to shape of the string. So I've developed my own little technique for doing that. That works fine. So I've never had the need to buy these overpriced tools. So anyway, let's start working on this nut. So one tip I will give you when you're working on a nut, you gotta like drop these strings off of the nut slot a few times. So protect the finish of your guitar. A little bit of tape in there, a little bit of tape in there will do that. Or especially if you're working on someone else's guitar, that's like common sense. Although I have found common sense is not so common anymore. So the first string, it's about 0.022, and I'd like it to be, I don't know, 0.08 maybe when we're done, something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'll take out the 0.012 and I'll just keep going down on here till I actually hit that. Then I know I need to like take it easy and slow up, because there's nothing worse than going too far on the nut. You don't want to do that. So if you're going to use sandpaper to do nuts, you've got to learn how to manipulate the sandpaper, because sometimes you want it round. On most of these strings you need it round. The first string, if you don't really need it round, you can just fold it in half. I'm using a 600 grit here. And basically what I'm going to do is sand it. This is a really narrow string slot. I'm just going to sand it down just a little bit, and then what you do is you keep putting the string back and testing it. And so I'm not nowhere near ready for this 0.012, but then you check where you're at. And I got a long way to go there, as you can see there. So it's just a matter of taking your time. If you have no patience at all, cutting a nut is not for you. You must have patience, because it's the kind of job where if you go too fast, then you're going to have a string that's sitting on the first fret. We don't want that. So just go a little bit at a time. Be patient. If you're in a hurry, don't do it. Okay, I'm up to the D string, and I've got this stuff folded twice for that. This is not secret mojo. It's just common sense stuff. I like to curl it over, like roll it over a little bit too. And don't go too much at once. Keep checking it. Where are we at here? And then I check it with this before I keep going. So I just drop a little bit of graphite in each string slot. That's what I use for lubricant. I mean, you can buy this stuff at the hardware store, powdered graphite. I just blow it off. That's what I've always used. It works pretty good. Be careful because it can leave a mess if you drop the powdered graphite on the rug or on something. It can leave a bit of a mess. Okay, the guitar's pretty much set up. I'm going to set the intonation. Here's how you do it. You get your tuner. Usually you do this it's sitting on your lap when you do it. That's how I like to do it, but I'm just showing you how to do it. So you'll hit the tuner, okay, it's tuned, and then you hit the 12th fret. So it looks like that one's perfect. Now what would happen is if I hit the open string and it's in tune, then I hit the 12th fret and it's sharp, and then it goes sharp, then that means the saddle's got to go to the right. It's got to increase the string length a little bit. Now, if I hit the 12th fret and it's flat, then the saddle needs to move this way. So it's just like it looks on here. If it's sharp, you have to increase, it has to go to the right. It has to increase the length, the string length. If it's flat, it goes to the left. So the saddle needs to go towards the nut. It's pretty simple. So I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to do it on camera because you won't see what I'm doing, and I like to do it in my lap anyway, in the playing position. After you set the intonation, you can play a chord like this, and you'll know right away if it's good. And a D chord. A D chord will really tell you if the intonation's off or not. But this chord I find the best. We are intonated. So it is all set up. It plays good. The action is good. I'll show you the action is nice. I was at the 12th fret. And we got the action at the nut is O10, how I like it. Might be able to go down a little bit, but O10 is pretty safe. And the neck is pretty straight too. So it's 10 across. All of these are 10. So she's all done. Playing good. A little bit of vibrations coming from the bridge, and I will deal with that at another time. I would like to put this together and do some jamming. Do some playing. So there's another setup. That's it. Hope you liked this, and if you did, comment, like, subscribe, and peace out.